Okay, let's regroup. All right.
Hey, that's copyright now.
What's up?
That's copyright now.
All right. Yeah.
Hey, dude. Matthew McConaughey's lawyers are going to sue.
Oh my God. Yeah. So I can't make money off of this. Oh God. All right. Okay. So that is invitation as explained through Indes, right? Indes, everything happens within, right? And a well-timed invitation is effective because we work Indes our opponent's motion and perform our own motion as explained by strong, weak, changing, right? We're not just moving because an invitation that turns into just a straight hitter, that's me trying to take vor while my opponent also thinks they're in vor. Meyer describes that as, I said it before, as gleich, right? It's the same energy, right? Trying to seize vor at the same time. And that is contrary to the philosophy of KDF. We can explain it as that's just a bad idea because you're going to double. But philosophically, we can say it as that is contrary to the idea of KDF, which is about these inversions and changes of these four fundamental principles, right? Okay, so we talked about invitation, which is talking about taking Indes, right? My opponent acts, I take in. You just repeat the drill, right? You strengthen. I take Indes, and now it's my turn, right? I can also hit Indes, my opponent's motion. And this is actually the origin of why a lot of people think that Indes means like immediately, like you bind and then immediately go, right? Because earlier translations of some of the texts were like, took some of these contexts in slightly differently. Because there are some cases in the texts of KDF, especially in like Ringek Danzig Lev, like the second generation after 3227a, for those who are book nerds like me, where they specifically say, do this, and Indes, do something else, right? And so they're like, oh, well, you have to immediately go into this next thing, otherwise it doesn't work. That can actually work against you. Why? What if my opponent sees it coming? If I just go immediately into it, what am I doing? Getting baited. Put it in terms of last hour. You're getting there. Breaking the speed limit of Indes. Right? See how this all comes together. Okay, so getting back on topic, right? I can hit Indes my opponent's motion. It is actually the only time that you should hit your opponent is Indes their motion. Why? Yes. If they are still, you are not safe because they're either thinking about something or could potentially go for it, right? And actually, James Riley, my coach from afar, is running a tournament and has run a tournament a couple of years. It's on HEMA ratings, where the only time that you can score positive points is if you hit Indes your opponent's motion. If you hit them in stillness, they lose points, but you don't gain points. So if Ryan sets up in a busted position, just throw your sword over here, and all I do is that, that's not +1 for me, it's -1 for Ryan, because he was a dumbass, right? But what if I get Ryan to do this? That's a point for me, because I made him move in Indes's motion I acted. So the simple application of this is going to be through Zuck in action into thrust. So I'm going to be right-handed. So let's say that Ryan is weak to my left shoulder. So you're over here, like that. Great. He's weak. What should I do? KDF-wise. Strengthen, yeah. So I'm strong, right? What should Ryan do in this case? He's weak, I'm strong. What should he try to do? What is one of the best ways that you can work to try to gain a strong position from here? You can zook in, right? So what is zook in? Yeah, you're zook in, you're not cutting around, that's abnehmen, right? And by the way, there's a difference there, right? Zook in is getting all the way back, right? You're sucking, you're pulling your sword back because you want to get onto the other side of their sword. So I'm here, you pull your sword all the way back to your shoulder, right? What's up?
Grab the bind.
Never leave the bind.
Yeah.
Never leave the bind, right? So I know he's going to do that. Do it again. Hit Indes their motion. Why? He's safe. Why? He's not thinking about hitting me when his sword's going back. And if he tries to cut around, what's he going to do? He's jammed, right? I did something similar to Derek Nash a couple months ago at Gesellenfechten, where what he did was I was strong, and he tried to cut around kind of up through Kron, like an abnehmen, and I thrust it in through his shoulder and locked him out, right? I waited for his motion because he was weakening, and as he weakened, what should I do if my opponent is weakening? strengthen, right? And I can strengthen with respect to his sword and be ready to hit, right? So here, what we're going to do again is I'm strong, you're weak, you're trying to strengthen, I'm staying with you so I can hit, okay? So that's what we're going to practice. There's many, many, many different ways that can be applied. You can also, instead of doing this, like if you try to get around, if you fail with the zuck-in, right, or you zuck in and I miss, I can hit your hands on the way out. How many people have gotten hand sniped by me in sparring or, yeah, right? I'm only doing this while you're moving, right? Because if I wait, if they're still, right, I do this, what are you going to do? Blah, dead. Okay, so again, the setup, mirror side is going to start strong position. The opponent is, or the training partner is going to try to zuck in back. Indes, they're moving back. The opponent's going to try to thrust. I know I didn't say no hitting. I'm a little bit lax on that. Just gently place this thrust. And I mean gently and slowly at this level of speed to begin with, right? That. Don't go until they've started moving. Don't do this because they might be able to strengthen back. Sound good? Okay, back to your tape and we'll rotate.